Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Kevin Durant gushes over Stephen Curry's performance in Team USA's win. Serbia had Team USA on the ropes in Thursday's semi-final matchup, leading by as many as 17 points and by 13 heading into the final frame. Ultimately, the Americans pulled off a comeback that will go down as one of the most memorable games in Olympic basketball history. And Steph Curry, who had been quiet for much of his Team USA debut at the 2024 Olympics, saved his best for when it was needed most. The Golden State Warriors star poured in 36 points on 12 of 19 shooting while knocking down 9 of 14 attempts from three-point range. Curry's performance will go down as one of the most impressive in Team USA history, and no one summed it up better than former Warriors teammate and fellow national team star Kevin Durant. As BasketNews.com's Donata Zerbonas revealed, Durant described Curry's performance as godlike and said it was one of the greatest games he's seen him play. That was a godlike performance. God was with him tonight. It was one of the greatest games I've ever seen him play, Durant said of Curry. Through Team USA's 3 group games and a quarterfinal win over Brazil, Curry had scored in double figures just once, notching 11 points against Serbia in the opener. But the 36-year-old superstar came out firing on all cylinders in the semifinals matchup, attempting more than twice as many shot attempts and also tacking on 8 rebounds with 2 assists and 1 steal over 33 minutes. Durant's high praise for Curry was unquestionably warranted. Now the duo, along with the rest of the star-studded American roster, will look to keep its foot on the gas in the gold medal game against France on Saturday. Steph Curry sent Warriors clear message on role in personnel decisions. NBA organizations often consult with their franchise players on major roster moves, though even in this context, Stephen Curry of the Golden State Warriors has shown himself yet again to be a unique sort of superstar. Golden State tried to swing big this offseason, taking legitimate runs at a sign-and-trade deal with the Los Angeles Clippers for Paul George and discussing seriously a trade with the Utah Jazz for Lauri Markkanen that would have included Moses Moody and most of the Dubs' tradable first-round assets over the next half-decade. Neither deal came to fruition, as George landed with the Philadelphia 76ers on a max free agency contract after opting out in LA, while Markkanen inked a monster extension to remain in Utah and is no longer eligible for a trade until next summer. However, that didn't leave the Warriors empty-handed after the departure of Klay Thompson to the Dallas Mavericks. Golden State signed quality two-way guard DeAnthony Melton, sharpshooter Buddy Hield and playmaker Kyle Anderson. It's true that the team doesn't have a clear number 2 star alongside Curry, but it does have one of the deepest rosters in the league and should be able to play effectively in a variety of different concepts. As for Curry and his role in what the Warriors did, and didn't do, in free agency, Kenda Andrews of ESPN reported that he doesn't want final say on personnel decisions, as having it would unduly separate him from his peers in the locker room. Steph has said, "Look, I do not want to be making those decisions. It puts me in a different spot than all of my teammates. I do not want that," Andrews wrote on Wednesday, August 9, citing an unnamed source. But just because Curry isn't interested in playing general manager while still in a starring role on the court doesn't mean he intends to let the Warriors off the hook if the front office fails to keep the team competitive. Curry, 36, has on multiple occasions put his name on public comments indicating his desire to remain in Golden State for the entirety of his career. However, he recently couched that intention with a caveat. "I want to win," Curry told Mark Spears of Anscape on July 24. "Let's put it this way, it's a long-winded way of saying that if it is a situation where you're a bottom feeder and it's just because you want to stay there, I'd have a hard time with that. But I don't think that's going to be the reality." The Warriors finished 10th in the Western Conference last season and lost the opening game of the NBA play-in tournament to the Sacramento Kings, thereby missing the playoffs for the 3rd time in the past 5 years. That said, the Dubs' two previous campaigns ended in a second-round loss to the Los Angeles Lakers after winning a playoff series against the Kings in 2023, and then a championship title in 2022. The West is potent, though an argument can be made that the Denver Nuggets got worse after losing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to the Orlando Magic, while the Dallas Mavericks and Minnesota Timberwolves perhaps improved only incrementally with the additions of Thompson and Rob Dillingham, respectively. The Oklahoma City Thunder could prove a juggernaut, but they have a young roster. All of that is to say that the Dubs could bounce back this season given their lineup versatility and depth at multiple positions. Couple that with some good injury luck and Draymond Green playing more than 55 games, most of his absences in 2023-24 came due to suspensions for physical acts of on-court misbehavior, and the Warriors could find themselves in the thick of things down the stretch. If not, Curry has 2 seasons remaining on his 4-year, $215 million contract and can enter unrestricted free agency following the 2025-26 campaign. Report: Warriors refuse to trade Brandon Podemsky, Jonathan Kuminga. According to NBA insider Kendra Andrews of ESPN, the Golden State Warriors refused to trade Brandon Podemsky and Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors didn't offer Podemsky or Kuminga to the Utah Jazz for Lauri Markkanen. The Warriors are holding high value in their younger pieces, sources told ESPN, including Podemsky and Kuminga, Andrews reported. Any trade incorporating either player would have to help with the long-term success of the team more than they would, sources added. Golden State intends to hold on to those players very tightly, and anything to loosen the grip on them would have to be an overwhelming offer. Sources also told ESPN that what the Jazz were asking for in return for Markkanen made it a bad deal for the Warriors, and the talk stalled. Podemsky averaged 9.2 points, 5.8 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 0.8 steals and 0.2 blocks this past season for the Warriors while shooting 45.4% from the field, 38.5% from beyond the arc and 63.3% from the free throw line. Golden State drafted Podemsky with the 19th overall pick in the 2023 NBA Draft out of Santa Clara. Kuminga put up 16.1 points, 4.8 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 0.7 steals and 0.5 blocks per game for the Warriors in 2023-24 while shooting 52.9% from the field, 32.1% from 3 and 74.6% from the foul line. The Dubs drafted Kuminga with the 7th overall pick in the 2021 NBA Draft. Kuminga won the 2022 title with Golden State over the Boston Celtics. The Warriors missed the playoffs in 2024. Klay Thompson left the franchise for the Dallas Mavericks in free agency and Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson and DeAnthony Melton were added via free agency. Golden State owner Joe Lacob told NBA reporter Tim Kawakami of The Athletic that he didn't want to trade Podemsky or Kuminga. "I'm not going to get into specifics like that, there's no way," Lacob said. "But I don't want to give him up, or JK. We love these guys. And Moses, Moody, Tracy, Jackson Davis. These are good young players. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Jonathan Kuminga? Leave your opinion in the comments.